What's going on, family? You already know what time it is. Once again, it's your man Cigar Mick, and it's time for another Cigars and Conversations with Apuffaminute. I'm sitting here today surrounded, and I do mean surrounded, from the gentleman from Meluha Cigars, all right? Now, I had the good fortune last night of having my first Meluha, and I'm going to tell you, I'm saying it right?
Yes, you
all
are.
Let's make sure I'm getting it right, man. We ain't trying to mess this up. All right. Hey, when I tell y'all, man, that this is something special that y'all need to look out for, you already know Mick don't pull no punches, right? So I'm trying to tell you the truth, man. I had a chance. I met Rob last night. All right, I met Showtime. I met Tony. And now today, all the way from Dubai, the owner of the brand himself, Yogi, even flew in for this one. So I feel totally blessed right now, all right, to be in the presence of greatness. And I'm telling you it's greatness because I'm smoking on it right now. Gentlemen, welcome to Apuffaminute. How you doing today?
Fantastic. It's a pleasure to be here. 20 hours of flying, worth it every minute. Ready for the conversation? Let's get there.
There you go. 20 hours of flying. So let me give you gentlemen just a little bit of the premise about what we do here at Apuffaminute, right? At Apuffaminute, we believe that the best part of smoking a cigar are the conversations that people have while they're doing it. All right? So we light up a cigar, man, and then we focus on just that conversation. But of course, the conversation today is going to be surrounded around this brand, Meluha, and I know you gentlemen are in town for the PCA. Right, so we're happy to have you, happy to see you. But tell us, man. First of all, Yogi, let me ask you first. All right, how did you come up with the brand, man? Like, what's the story behind the story?
The story about Meluha is all about my own journey. It was a calling. It was a leap of faith. There was a phase in my life where I wanted to do something much more than what I was doing, and here came an opportunity. I thought, what am I looking for exactly? And it's that recognition, the acknowledgement, the aspirational to grow big in life. Those were the sentiments that were going through my head. And I said, when I was like walking through one of the cigar stores here in the US itself, an idea struck me. It was like a eureka moment. Why cannot create a cigar which will be my identity, or which will be anybody's identity for that matter? Because all of us, somewhere down the line, we are always looking for that acceptance, that acknowledgement, that celebration of an individual and celebration of a man when we are making so many things in life, going through the journey of life. And that's where I think I also read a book called Immortals of Meluha, and philosophy resonated very much with what I was going through. And when I came up with a cigar, I said, my cigar should be visible on the shelf. It has to stand out. It has to have an attitude. It has to be respected, it has to be acknowledged, and it has to be celebrated. The same values that I was going through, and that's how Meluha was born.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, you said that you have read a book called Immortals of Meluha, right? So that's obviously where the name is taken from. Tell us about the legend or, the story behind Meluha itself, behind the name.
So Meluha is primarily a mythical journey of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is one of the persons who is always known as a creator as well as the destroyer. And it's a journey of a common man, how he started as a common man to becoming the demigod or the supreme god that he is today. And that's about Meluha, where he goes through this journey. He depicts his life. He depicts and narrates his entire experiences in a beautiful form, which is relatable to each and every one of us. And that's how this is what I thought was me. And everybody, each one of us has this sentiments, has this experiences. And those are the experiences that we put into a product form.
Beautiful, beautiful. Exactly. So the journey, right? It's a life and death. Is all included in what you are pouring into this brand right here.
Absolutely.
Okay. And somewhere along the line, right, you came up with this Atlanta legend right here. Right. And you and Rob hooked up and got together. So Rob, man, tell us about how you got involved.
So essentially, I am a man who's a great admirer of quality.
Okay.
I like quality products. I like quality life, quality cars, quality women, quality cigar. The only thing I like in quantity is money.
I love it.
And I worked in corporate for many years in Silicon Valley, and I wanted to not just merely exist, but to truly live. Do what I wanted to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it. Wake up when I want to wake up, and go to sleep when I want to go to sleep. And so I decided to embark on this journey. You know, when a man gets to 50 or getting close to 50, you start to look at life from a different perspective. You know, the better years behind you, and you just want to make every day count for something as you move forward. And so I embraced the things that were synonymous with a lifestyle that embraces opulence and relaxation, just things that you have accomplished through life.
Right.
And I started, looking at opening up a cigar business. And I opened up my first cigar lounge, which was the hottest cigar lounge in the doggone city, y'all. Hot ashes, too.
Nice.
And I was a top seller of a number of brands. I was the number one seller in the Southeast of several brands. I don't want to name them now because Meluha is the cigar we're talking about.
Yes.
But among them was Meluha when it was first introduced for about 6 months in the country, about 8 years ago.
Wow.
And I met Yogi. He came over and did an event for me, and we started building a wonderful relationship since then. And we have been talking about taking the brand through this journey, in the U.S. And one of the things that I have done for many years for one of the top Fortune 100 companies in Silicon Valley is international expansion, which is about localization, right? Mm-hmm. Just going into any country, understanding localization compliance requirement, and work with it throughout the product life cycle to the whole implementation, just going through the business setup, the legal sales, all the way through to generating revenue and reporting, configuration, all that stuff.
Right.
It's boring. Anyway, it paid the bills.
Good. Okay.
And so this was an easy journey for me to work with a Yogi to say, hey, let me get this into the United States. And so I have done my due diligence, and we are finally able to get it here. And it has been a wonderful business-to-business relationship. Initially, he just wanted to make me the head of U.S. sales. And I said, look, this is not how I operate.
Okay.
I said, that's a look. How about this? How about I establish an entity here, Meluha USA, and we do B2B, and then this would encompass importation, distribution, and the likes. And it's just been a wonderful relationship. When you meet someone who truly believe in their product, believe in their craft,
right,
and they make quality. Look at the product.
Yes. Well, we're going to get into that for sure.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So I just decided to build a team, and that's where these guys, Glenn, otherwise known as Showtime, because that's what he does.
Uh-huh.
You talking about selling ice to the Eskimos? This guy can do
that's
that.
That's the man right there.
There you go. And Tony Hall, he is one of the epitome of influencers in the cigar industry, not just in Atlanta, but other places. And so this is the team. You're talking about a national sales director.
Yes.
You're talking about a national influencers directors where we will leverage social media influencers in different local jurisdiction, and Tony will be heading that team.
I love it.
Representing the brand.
I love it. And on that note, Tony, man, thank you, bro. As you put your team together of influencer, and thank you for allowing the Puff a minute, right, to get this exclusive and to break this news, right, about what we're about to do here in the U.S., man. So I appreciate you guys coming and starting here. Real
indeed.
talk.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm excited and happy to be here.
Yeah. So, Tony, I mean, your story is kind of cool, too, right? Because, I don't know how many people out there know, but, again, one of the founders of the Atlanta Cigar Week as well, right? So,
yes.
And I know that's coming up again, brother. But tell us a little bit about your background, man, and, what you're bringing to the table right now with Meluha.
My background is vast. So I can't get into all of it.
Got you.
But I've been in sales. I've had nightclubs. I've had cigar lounges. And one of the things about the two of those, right? So, in owning nightclubs and going in every day and dealing with the clientele that I dealt with there.
Sure.
No disrespect, but I felt like I was getting dumber every day.
Okay.
So, when I opened up these cigar lounges and I began to deal with like-minded individuals,
yes,
and people that were just trying to take over the world in a respectable way, it was a game changer for me. At one of my lounges, though, Meluha was the premier cigar, that we had.
Okay.
it quickly shot to my top two. Arguably, I have two. But Meluha is the one that I've been missing
Okay.
for years.
Right. Right.
So I'm excited to be a part of this. Prior to joining this team, I had a team with another project, Atlanta Cigar Week, as you alluded to a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
And our focus is the cigar community, bringing light to it, promoting that camaraderie,
Sure.
and over a good stick.
Yes.
So it comes full circle.
Okay.
We're back to Meluha.
I love it. I love it. All right, and I want to holler at Showtime for a minute. All right, we can't forget Showtime in the building. All right, so Showtime, man, tell us, about your background a little bit and what you bring into the Meluha team.
Well, my background consists of sales, product development, sales training, running dealerships, designing floor plans, designing programs, implementation, market penetration, market segment. I could go on and on. And, understanding analytics, KPIs, things that drive business and performance.
Okay.
So when I got a chance to get with Rob and we started talking about the Meluha, I got motivated.
Okay.
Now, granted, I had not tried a Meluha until a couple of weeks ago.
Is that right?
And let me tell you something. There's a saying we have in the country. It's the hottest thing since sliced bread.
I love it. Yeah.
So let me tell you something. One of the things that I love about being a part of this project is that I love cigar lounges. I want to be able to sit down and experience one of the most premier cigars in the world with premier customers, with premier clientele, with premier individuals that you can engage in good conversation with over a good stick with a good beverage.
Love it.
So when you talk about pristine, when you talk about felicity, when you talk about superfluous things that supersede what is called the norm and beyond the norm, that's what you want to be associated with.
Got you.
So by being associated with these gentlemen right here, I've reached that.
I love it. Okay.
And now we all as a team are going to take it to a whole nother level.
Nice.
And one of the things we talked about, and I want to make this real short, is that the Meluha is for everybody, but not for everybody.
Okay. Say more about that.
You follow me?
Yeah.
When you talk about a Meluha stick, this is not the novelist stick.
Okay.
This is the cigar aficionado, the people that truly appreciate a good tobacco, a good blend, a good process, a good vetting process to bring it to market. And one of the things that they're very proud of for the Meluha cigar is the aging process.
Okay.
You take 7 to 10 years to age a cigar, it is not going to be your run-of-the-mill cigar.
Agreed.
It is going to be premium, pristine at the top of the pinnacle.
Absolutely.
There's a story that they talk about the eagle when he gets old, how he sharpens his beak to become better so he can maintain and keep going.
Yes.
The Meluha has done all of that.
I love it.
So all of the R&D that needed to go into it to make it the product that it needed to be, it's been done.
Okay.
We are fortunate enough to catch it on the back end.
Okay.
And become a part of it.
Yes.
All the work that Yogi put in, he did all the R&D. He did all the groundwork. He did that.
Okay.
Now what we have the opportunity to do is to now share it with the rest of the world.
I love it. Yeah, I don't know much about surfing, right? But I know you got to be in the water before the wave hit, right?
That is correct.
So exactly. So I appreciate all the work that Yogi has put into it, right? And like you said, you guys are in position now, right, to ride this wave, man, and take it to the next level. And I'm definitely looking forward to watching this journey and seeing where it's going. But I think it was Rob who made mention, right? So it was here in the United States some years ago. What did you say? 6, 8 years ago, or
It was probably 8 years ago.
about 8 years ago?
Yeah.
So let me ask the question, because I know there's somebody out there is wondering what happened 8 years ago, right? Why did the disappearance and then the resurgence at this point in time?
Okay, so I think
the U.S. market.
Yes, I can speak to that for 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, the product was still fairly new in the marketplace, and I think what Yogi was doing was just testing the marketplace, and then the cigar culture, it didn't take off 8 years ago like it did today.
Agreed.
So after he tested the marketplace, and we have had numerous conversations over the year And I would always tell him the timing is not right. The timing is not right. And then when COVID came around, and I read a report. I had a cigar shop, one of the top cigar shops in Atlanta.
Yes.
Robusta's Tobacco House, AJ Fernandez branded lounge at the time, which will probably be Meluha lounge when we rebuild it. It's in progress. But I had a fire. But prior to the fire, it was the best 9 months of my entire cigar retail life.
Wow.
Because of COVID.
Wow.
And when the fire occurred, and while I was sitting and thinking of how to build that stuff back like a phoenix rising from the ashes, I had time to dig deep into the realm of faculty while I would sit at home and smoke some cigars or out on the lake. And in doing that, I did some additional feasibility research and discovered that cigar sales had rose exponentially in the U.S. I pulled a report and I sent it to Yogi and I said, look at this.
Wow.
It was like some billions. And I said, man, based on the forecast and the trajectory, this is the right time.
Okay.
So now is the right time.
Now is the right time.
Which is why it's here. I should say this, that because the product is an exquisitely exclusive product, right? We can't, and it is by design, we're not selling it to make it readily available in every shop. Because the brand, we only want it to be associated with quality cigar lounges and quality cigar shops, right?
Yeah.
We have to do brand protection. That is somebody else we're going to bring on the team because we have like set minimum orders. And of course, they're not your run-of-the-mill cigars. So anyone who knows will know that it's not cheap.
Right.
You know, I have never seen quality and cheap in the same statement, and it made sense.
Okay.
Right. so this is top quality, exquisite indulgence.
Gotcha.
Right. And so you have to pay the price for it. So
there it is. You know, and that's a perfect segue right here in Las Vegas. Right, because again, I believe right now we're sitting inside Tapping Social Lounge right here in Las Vegas.
Beautiful place, by the way.
Outstanding place, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the owners, Michelle and Melvin Runless, man, who put this vision together.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's just a beautiful spot to come and just hang out and enjoy your cigars. But I get to make that announcement, right?
Yes.
Right here for the first time that the Meluha Cigars, like we will be one of those exclusive lounges.
Not just exclusive. This will be the very first place in the United States.
The very first
that will be able to sell.
Y'all heard that.
Tapping Ash.
We'll
be able to sell Meluha.
Yes, exactly, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's an honor in and of itself. Yogi, tell us a little bit about over the period of the last few years or what have you, like what is the distribution like? What other markets are you in? You know, right now that's doing well for the Meluha brand. I almost touched on something. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the journey started out of Dubai, UAE, United Arab Emirates, where I'm based.
Yes.
And though the cigars are made in Costa Rica, it caught a lot of momentum out of Dubai.
Yes.
And basically, I think Dubai is all about lifestyle. It's all about opulence.
Yes.
It's all about making a statement. And that's how the brand caught a lot of awareness, caught a lot of eyeballs.
Yes.
To an extent where Dubai, one of the duty-free news international magazines rated us as one of the fastest growing brands.
Really?
Yeah. And within no time, it became a very popular stick with the royalties as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the top echelons of the society.
Okay.
So the word spread around, and within no time we were in the entire GCC, which is all the Gulf countries over there around, in and around.
Okay.
You talk about Bahrain, you talk about Qatar, we talk about Oman, we talk about Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. So we are pretty much in all these markets. Apart from that, we are also in Switzerland, we are in Belgium, we are in Africa, which is in Angola and Mozambique.
Okay.
We are getting into Uganda now.
Wow.
We have just, as we speak, last week we just are in a process of launching into in UK, United. Yeah.
Wow.
So all in all,
not to stop you, but the moment that he did that launch, I remember seeing it popular there was this hashtag of the best cigar in the world.
Yes.
They said it's about time. The review was, it's about time the best cigar in the world makes it to the UK. And we're embracing that here. Honestly, we think it's the best cigar in the world. And if you ever have the experience this cigar, I'm pretty sure you would probably say the same thing. So I'm proud to be associated with
Pleasure is
the
mine.
best cigar in the world.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine, Rob. Pleasure is mine. I mean, the best thing that what Rob brings to the table is his devotion and his commitment. I mean, these are his personal values, personal traits. As an individual, which he brings to the business as well. And that is the factor, the loyalty, the commitment, the devotion, the vision to grow big is something which I'm really fascinated with. I really admire, and I think that's going to grow in a long way of this association where this, I wouldn't say it's a partnership, I would say it's a brotherhood, which has been able, which is what has been created over the last 3 years. We've been talking about this for almost about 3 years. We've had numerous chats, and yes, of course, I mean, that gave me that, the patience, but at the same time, that strength and the commitment that, yes, Rob is the person, he knows better than me in terms of distribution, and let the brand be in his hands.
Love it.
So I said, let me take a back seat. Let me do what I do the best, which is creating the cigars, and let Rob handle everything.
Right.
And that's how it came in with Rob. Now Rob has taken it to a completely different level, where he's put in the team. He's got Glenn on board, he's got Tony on board, and definitely there's further team that is coming on board as well. And I'm sure now with this particular journey that we have embarked upon, this will go in multitudes of different directions and ensure that it's there for everyone, but at the same time, not for everyone, as Glenn said.
But everyone, but not everyone. I love it. Yeah. You know, it's refreshing. I mean, just to be honest with you, first of all, when Rob handed me the stick last night, he said, "I'm about to give you the best cigar in the world," right? And I'm not going to argue with him right now. I mean, I have to stay agnostic most of the time because, you know, a lot of people come to me with their cigars, man. But let me tell you, brother, I am so well pleased. Actually, I was very, very surprised, right? And we want to talk about the sticks here in a minute. And what I mean by that, for me, for my palate, I'm not typically a large ring person. All right? You understand what I'm saying? But this doesn't smoke like a big ring cigar, right? I can't really, I don't know how to put my finger on it and explain it to y'all, but you got to see for yourself, right? This is definitely something totally different.
I'm sorry, we're laughing because if we had a dime for everything we hear that.
Is that right?
We all would be
Well, let me give you my dime right after this, brother, because I'm trying to tell you, this is very much an outstanding cigar, right? In every aspect, right? So I'm not going to, but let's talk about, first of all, before we go there, let's talk about the sourcing. All right. Mm-hmm. Costa Rica was mentioned, right? So let's talk about the blend on the cigars and who is Yogi? Are you the master blender as well, or is there another team around that, or how does that part come around?
So I wouldn't say that I'm a master blender, but definitely I do have a say on the kind of the flavors that I would like to get out of the stick, or the experience that I am looking forward to, because ultimately the key factor is, though the cigars, like as you rightly said, cigars are thick, they shouldn't be intimidating when you smoke the cigars. Right. It shouldn't be hurting your throat. It shouldn't be hurting your lips. Right. And that is one of the key issues. And how do you achieve that? That's a big science behind it. The ultimate aim or objective is that whenever somebody smokes a Meluha, he should be happy. He should be really elated with the experience, and that is what we are trying to create. And that basically goes into telling the team on the floor as to this is what we are looking for. These are the flavors that we would like to bring in. Ensure that the leaf is well cured, well treated. Ensure that the people who are rolling the sticks are well taken care of. And that is one of the key elements where I see, and one of the factors that I always look into is that the cigar should be a happy cigar. Mm-hmm. And when I say happy cigar, it should be rolled by happy people, because ultimately when you're rolling a cigar, it's a human emotion that gets transferred to a cigar. Yeah. And transferred to the leaf, because it's a live leaf that you're rolling at the end of the day. Yeah. And if the people who are rolling the cigars, who are treating the cigars, who are treating the leaves, they are not well taken care of, your cigars will never turn out the way they are turning out today. Nice. And that's one of the key factors of Meluha being able to deliver the experience that we always talk about.
Okay.
And that's why it doesn't hurt your throat.
Right, exactly. So,
And if I should add to that too, I think that diversity it is conducive to creating some of the best product and ideas in the world, right? And as Yogi puts it, the Meluha, it calls Costa Rica home.
okay.
Now, as we all know, it's not a whole lot of tobacco farmland in Costa Rica, so it's
Exactly
very
right.
selective.
Yes.
And it's not name dropping, but if we mention another cigar, the Atabey, which most of us have heard about, have never had one, but we know it's a very expensive, top quality cigar. This is from the same factory and farms as that cigar.
Okay.
So, of course, you're getting that kind of quality.
Right.
Now, as Yogi alluded to, making sure that the people who are working, the 200 hands that are touching it, are happy people. In other words, you compensate them well. You make sure that you care for their well-being.
Yeah.
Because if you find a good team to develop a good product, then if you have high attrition because the people are not happy, then the product quality, of course, is going to be diminished.
Sure.
So we ensure that we have that. So every Meluha that you get will be the same consistent quality. It's not like we would start with one and then 2 years later you're getting something different. We source the best tobacco from the best regions of the world. Most of the Meluha, the blend, is pretty much Costa Rican, filler, grown from the Cuban seed, which is the Habano, right, in the high grounds of Costa Rica,
Sure.
where you get a very unique quality, organic. And the other thing is that we have Ecuadorian binder. And the beautiful thing about it, if you notice the way they burn,
Yes.
you remember the one last night, right? You
Exactly.
don't have to ash it. It burns all the way down.
Yeah.
You have Seco in that binder as well. And so it burns inside out, outside in. So in terms of tasting the flavor profile, you get every facet of the flavor as the blender intended for you to.
Nice.
And we may not be the master blenders, but we know the best master blenders to hire.
I love it.
It's about a team. And we also use a Dominican Maduro wrapper,
Okay.
which has been aged. If you notice, so smooth, silky.
Yes.
It is. So it's some of the best tobacco from different places all over the
Gotcha,
world.
gotcha.
What they call Costa Rica home.
Called Costa Rica home. And you said the Seco. So some of our viewers out there might not understand the Seco leaf, man. You want to tell them what part of the plant that is? And-
Yeah, so the Seco, I mean, most of us know who are true cigar enthusiasts that there are, a few major leaves that grows on the plant. The Velado, the Seco, the Ligero, and the Ligero mostly for the strength of the cigar.
Right.
These are not overpoweringly strong.
Right.
But they are mellow, and because the tobacco have been aged for so long,
Yeah.
it is a sleeper if you want. It's not uncomfortable smoke.
Right.
But like yesterday, I was smoking one in the Palazzo, and I was sipping on old fashioned. And I said to Tony in Showtime, I said, man, I don't know if it's the cigar, or if it's the old fashioned, but something got me feeling a little bit
Happy? Yeah.
But the Seiko is for the combustion
Exactly.
mostly.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's talk about what we have today, man. What we're featuring. This is the reveal. This is the grand reveal, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And when they walked up in here with the Louis bag, they let you know something. I'm trying to tell you right now. They try to let you know that this is not, your everyday run of the mill brand. Okay. So let's talk about what we have today.
So I will let
going
Yogi
with
go over what they are, and I will
I
chime
thought,
in.
Rob, you would be taking the lead in this.
as necessary. So essentially, one of the first cigars that I ever had was what they call the Mystic, and the Mystic. This is the Mustang. The Mystic
that's the
is
one there.
yeah, that's the Mystic. So the Mystic is pretty much a shorter version of the Mustang,
Okay.
right? Yogi, I'm not sure why you called it that name, because you had that name, the Mystic, before I became part of the organization.
Basically, Mystic itself was a very intriguing journey for me. When I wanted to create Meluha, the first cigar that I was wanting to create was the Mystic. And that time I didn't have the name for it, but I was just wanting to create the cigar, and the whole process took me almost about 18 months to create this cigar. I thought I will be able to create in like just go to the factory and tell them that, okay, I want a 4-inch long cigar with a 66 ring gauge, and they said, are you crazy, are you nuts? I said, nobody makes 66 ring cigars. I said, but I want it. And they said, okay, let's try. So they said, you'll have to invest. I said, okay, fine, I don't mind investing.
Right.
They were like quite very surprised that here's somebody who's putting money on the table and like.
They didn't know you were from Dubai.
So they were like pretty much shocked that somebody is putting money on the table. I said, yeah, okay, you'll have to commit to about 1,250 sticks. I said, okay, fine, here is my commitment. What else do you want? Okay, give us about 4 months and we'll give you the cigar.
Really?
I was very happy. Okay. So I was waiting for 4 months. 4 months went by, nothing came out. 6 months went by, nothing came out. It went to about 8 months, and I was like getting a little edgy.
Yeah.
And I was almost on the verge of losing my cool, and I told the factory, what's happening? I mean, you're like sitting on my money. The next thing that they came up and said that, okay, we'll have to invest in the molds. We'll require some more money. I said, what? Really? Now you're telling me after 8 months that you want money for the molds? I mean, all this while, what were you all doing?
Right.
They said, no, this requires special molds. How much money? They gave me a figure. I said, okay, yeah, I'm transferring the money. So I invested in the molds as well.
Wow.
So went past 1 year, nothing came out. And I was like, my family then, my son and my wife, they were like, you've gone nuts. I mean, what's wrong with you? I mean, you're putting so much of money into making cigars. I mean, you were only a cigar smoker a few months back. And what is now happening to you is you're getting obsessed with cigars. I said, well, that's about it. I mean, it's just a passion.
Yes.
So I said, this passion you're taking it to a completely different level. I said, well, now that the money is committed, I can't walk back.
Yes.
But the whole idea was to create a cigar for myself, and that the entire objective of with which I started was nowhere on the horizon. The cigar was just not coming out.
Right.
So probably after almost about 15 months, the first cigar came out, which was the Mustang, which was the 5x66.
Right.
And the first batch came in, and it was like, it looked wow. I smoked the first cigar. I was elated, and we had this informal cigar club in Dubai. And I said that these are like the 66 ring cigars, 1 inch thick plus. Would you like to have an experience? And pretty much I was able to recover all my investment with the sales that I had in the next 45 minutes.
Yes.
And that's where the whole idea of branding came in. I said, why can't I create? But still, the Mystic hadn't arrived, and I said I want to create this 4x66. I was talking to the factory. They were saying that okay, it's becoming a little difficult because we thought that we've created the 5x66 cigar, and we thought that we'll just cut an inch and then it will become a 4-inch cigar. But it's not happening that way.
Right. Yeah.
Because we have to go a completely different construction route. Or devise a completely different format to make this cigar. And creating cigar is not only about making a roll and making it sit.
It's a science. Yeah.
It's a science. It has to go through a complete process of how it stays in your storage, how it travels, what is the shelf life. I mean, whether it's like being able to hold the leaf structure, whether it's been able to hold the humidity. Sometimes cigars tend to shear off. Sometimes the cigar tends to burst. And all that needed to be studied quite extensively.
Yeah. Okay.
So actually Mystique became an actual Mystique for me. It was a mystery for me. I mean, why is it not that we have not been able to create this cigar? And that's the reason why we called it Mystique. Finally, after almost about 18 months is when the Mystique came in, and I was like smoking it with a lot of relief, a lot of joy. The sentiments were like really, mixed sentiments. I was a little bit overwhelmed emotionally because I literally had tears of joy in my eyes when I smoked the first Mystique. Because ultimately it affects the entire sentiment of the cigar.
And it's about happiness, right?
Yes.
Happy hands, happy cigar.
Hands and happy cigars.
So that's right.
I want to share something.
So
I want to share something with you all. when it comes to making a amazing cigar, it's not just about the content of the cigar. It's also about the presentation of the cigar. And when you take a look at the aesthetics that was put into this cigar to represent a premium stick, it's not just a run-of-the-mill packaging. When you take a look at this box, you look at it, and what it says to you is that this is exquisite craftsmanship, quality, and it's not made just to be seen as a good-looking stick. It's to accentuate the absolute amazingness of the stick, which also comes with the humidifier inside. So it's showing you that the manufacturer, the maker of this stick, truly cared about the stick. When you take a look at the Mystic, you see the packaging right here. How many do you see that you can set up with presentation just like that? Presentation is everything. When you see a Bentley, you know a Bentley. When you see a Meluha, you now know a Meluha because it separates itself from everything and everybody. When you take a look at presentation, you cannot go wrong. When you take a look, excuse me. Open that box right there for me, Tony. The packaging, the branding, the aesthetics, the logo, the detail, it signifies greatness. It's
from Dubai, which they embrace gold a lot. And you look in here, you see that gold embossed. You know, it's a quality cigar.
That is correct. So everything about this stick says that, number one, I'm supposed to be in the room smoking this stick. Number two, this is a stick, this is my go-to stick now. But as I said before, it's for everybody but not for everybody.
Yes.
Because there's a lot put into the presentation, into the packaging, into the delivery, and also into Yogi's story of how it came to fruition. Nothing great happens overnight.
Okay.
Nothing great happens overnight. Everything has a process. So when you take a look at all the work, all the craftsmanship, all the R&D that goes into the stick, you cannot help but be amazed. And when you finally get a chance to let your palate experience exquisiteness, indulgence,
Come on.
opulence,
Yes.
as he mentioned earlier,
Yes.
you sit back and you have an epiphany. And you sit back and you marinate. You know how you smoke a good stick and then you look at it like it's going to tell you something?
Right.
You look like, wait a minute. When you smoke this stick, there's one thing that always comes to mind when you get to the end. I wish there was more.
Yes.
Right.
I wish there was more. There would be many a burnt fingertip smoking this cigar because I assure you, we normally stop around here.
Right.
With this one, you almost want to put a pin in it and get it all the way down to the very tip.
Wow. Yes.
That's success. That's quality.
Yeah.
That's craftsmanship. That's technique. That's indulgence. That's everything that you, whatever word you choose to use to describe amazing, above average, the pinnacle, prestige, pristine. This is what you get in the Meluha cigar.
I love it.
Read my lips.
Read his lips.
The cigar is amazing.
Yes. Yes. Tony, we haven't heard from you for a minute, brother.
Yes, what would you like to know?
Just tell us something, bro. Tell us, you know.
I mean, they said it all. It's an amazing product.
Yes.
I've been a huge fan since before it returned.
Okay.
You know, the interesting thing is that once people heard that there was going to be a release party here at Tap and Ash,
Release party where?
here at Tap and Ash,
Tap and Ash. When?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. All right.
Tomorrow night. I will be giving away some free cigars. We'll be handing out a bunch of the first 200 people to come in is going to get complimentary Fat Boy, which is the one that you have in your hand right now. That's the one you smoked last night.
Yes.
Just hold the Fat Boy so the camera can see it.
that one you love.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Fat Boy is a.
All can hold it like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There's a Fat Boy. And by the way, It might be a short cigar. How long is that? 3 inches?
3.85.
3
range.
There you go, about 70 ring gauge. And it might look like it looks like a nub, if you can think of a nub.
Yeah.
A little bit thicker. And you might think that that's going to be a 25, 30-minute smoke. No, it's not. This is going to take you on a journey. As we say, exquisite indulgence. It will take you on a journey, and in the end, you're going to get your fingers burnt, as Showtime says, and it will leave you with a desire for more.
To have another.
So I'm a co-sign on what Showtime said, right? So I was smoking with you guys last night.
Yeah.
Right? And again, I don't really know how long we were back there, but when I left here, I didn't, I had to take it with me. So I'm smoking it in the car on the way home. And then when I got to the house, I didn't even go in the house, man. I went around to the backyard. I'm like, I'm not going in until I finish this stick. All right? So yeah, for real, bro. From the rooter to the tutor, baby. Real talk. So yeah.
I would like to point out though, love the cigar community.
Yes.
Love the other brands. The problem that we had in the past couple of days is we smoked the Meluha.
Yeah.
Some of our other guys will come and they'll give us their cigars. You guys got to try this, and they give this amazing pitch.
Okay.
How incredible it is.
Yeah.
And then we're disappointed
Yes.
because our palate has had this Meluha.
Yeah.
For the past couple of days. We had it all day. So you smoke this Meluha, you try the other brand, and I'm not saying don't get the other brands.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm saying do that one first.
Yeah, do that first.
Okay.
Do that one first.
Save the best for last.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it may mess up your experience.
Right.
For some of these other products.
Understood. Okay.
So save the best for last.
I love it. There it is, y'all.
And I'm sorry, but just to tell the folks who are attending the PCA, we will be in the PCA, as those in Atlanta knows. I actually own a cigar lounge in Atlanta, and we will be at the PCA sourcing new brands and new product that's being introduced to the market. So don't be afraid to walk up to any one of us you see in this Meluha shirt, and we will extend an invite to the release party here tomorrow night at Tap and Ash. Y'all know where that is.
There it is. Louder. Everybody loud. Everybody talk loud. Go ahead, bro.
I want to say one last thing.
Yeah.
I've said so much about the Meluha cigar, but what I also want to say is this. When we talked about where could we go to have a lunch party in Vegas, I came to Tap and Ash about 9 or 10 months ago. Okay. And when I tell you the atmosphere, the ambiance, the people, the camaraderie, the welcoming, the pleasantry, everything about this place was absolutely amazing. And when I posted a video of this institution, and I'm going to call it an institution, I posted a video and everybody said, where is that? What is that? How long have they been open? And at the time, they had been open for about 6 or 7 months. And they had the 1-year anniversary a few months ago. I said, we need to do it at Tap and Ash. Everything about Tap and Ash is synonymous with the Meluha. As you sit here and look at the space that we're sitting in, it makes you feel as if you're sitting at home, having a family reunion, engaged in good conversation with good people. It coincides with the Meluha. It completely coincides with the Meluha. I believe in Tap and Ash. I love Tap and Ash. Whenever I'm in Vegas, this is my go-to lounge in Vegas. If you ever come to Vegas, come and check out Tap and Ash, and please partake of the Meluha.
Only place you can get it.
The only place you can get it. And I will say this because I'm in sales. Everybody likes to buy, but nobody wants to be sold. So once you get your first experience, nothing else needs to be said.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
There it is. There it is. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you all, man, for coming on the Puff a Minute with us today, telling us and educating us on the Meluha cigars. Looking forward to the launch party tomorrow night. Looking forward to seeing, the tremendous growth that I already know is in front of you in this U.S. market, man. And I believe that this is going to be big for Tap and Ash as well, right? That people are gonna land at Harry Reid Airport, jump in the Uber, and come straight to Tap and Ash so that they can pick up this Meluha, so that they can enjoy their vacation time right here in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
They better do it.
Let's go out and we'll go around. Last words from everybody. We'll start with you, Tony.
But once again, I'm excited to be here in Vegas for the launch. I look forward to everyone trying out the product, and I definitely want to know what their thoughts are.
Love it.
I would love to welcome everyone tomorrow for the Meluha experience, the philosophy that it dictates, and the happiness that it creates. And I'll end up with the statement, the Meluha philosophical statement, which is, I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me, and thank you. Happy smokes.
Love it.
Yeah, I would say that everyone deserves to have a Meluha moment. A moment when you are with your cigar and it takes you on that journey of exquisite indulgence. And at the end of it, you can say, wow, because that is the most common feedback that we get. It looks like a big ring gauge. Do they make them smaller? And once they start smoking it, they say, it doesn't smoke like a big cigar, just like you said. And at the end, they say, wow. So come on out tomorrow night for this launch. We'll be giving out some cigars. And we'll be here to talk with you. All of us will be here. The whole team will be here. It's going to be just a great, good old time. We have some other folks that are going to be here. We have Jay from Big Boy Cigars, who have been instrumental in helping us to get this product to market in the U.S. We have Alonzo and Kim from Cigar City Club in Atlanta, who is part of our team, will be here with us. So for the Atlanta market, we're coming back to Atlanta after the PCA, and we will be setting up a nice product launch with specially invited guests. And we will be partnering with one of the top motorcar brands in the world, one of the most exclusive. And so come on out. It's going to be an experience. Stay tuned. You will see it all over social media.
Love it.
I'm going to close by saying this, that I'm going to piggyback on what Rob said. We're also going to be doing a launch in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to give you the information on that as well. So anybody in the region that has the opportunity to experience a Meluha cigar, I strongly urge you to get there before the rush. It's almost like Nike's standing outside in line. You definitely want to be one of the first ones to experience the Meluha cigar. Thank you all for listening.
I love it. But hold that mic for 1 second, Showtime. One last question for you, right? Because we know where to get it in Las Vegas. We're going to know where to get it in Atlanta, right? But for other people who are out there, right, across the United States, right, if they want to know, how do they follow Meluha, right, on the social media? Maybe this is a question for Tony, I'm not sure. But on social media, like, where do they go to find out where you guys are going to be? Like, what are your feature lounges, right? And then we'll go from there.
So the website, the global website is meluhacigars.com. And you can also send for retailers who are interested in carrying the products. We go through a vetting process to ensure that you are qualified to carry the products. You can send your emails to sales@meluhacigarsusa.com, and that is only for the U.S. market. Again, sales@meluhacigarsusa.com, or you can send it directly to me at rob.s. That's for Rob Smith, rob.s@meluhacigarsusa.com. On Instagram, my angle is Meluha Rob. So you can search for Meluha Rob, and I will be ensuring that we have that engagement. In Dallas, we will be launching at Allure Jazz and Cigars. And in Atlanta, that is TBD. There's so many cigar lounges in Atlanta that we are talking to a few people right now, and we will be coming forth with the information on that.
Outstanding. There you have it, y'all. All right, and everything that was just said, you probably see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now as well. You can always reach out to a Apuffaminute, and we'll get you that information as well, right? So we'll let you know where you can find these guys at. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, I'm honored, right, that we're kicking this thing off at Tabernash and that we started right here at Apuffaminute, Cigars and Conversations. Thank you for coming in today and spending some time with us. All right, family. Once again, it's your man, Cigar Mick. It has been another Cigars and Conversations with Apuffaminute. We're going to drop out on this one. We'll be back for the next one soon. Until then, remember, we are not just blowing smoke, people. Peace, and we'll talk to you soon.
Meluha.
Meluha.